To find the equation of an ellipse centered at 0, 0, you need to be able to find its a and b values. So if you're dealing with a horizontal ellipse, you're going to be dealing with an equation of this form here. X squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared equals 1, with the foci on the x-axis at plus minus c comma 0, using this equation to get c if necessary, and have vertices at plus minus a, with a major axis running along the horizontal of length 2a. Vertical ellipse is fairly similar, except it's x squared over b squared plus y squared over a squared equals 1, this form here, with the foci running along the y-axis, 0, comma, plus minus c, with vertices at 0, comma, plus minus a, with the major axis running along the vertical length of 2a. This is also the equation of the eccentricity, E equals c over a, which is sometimes used if given a question, which we will be. So knowing all that, let's find some equations of ellipses. Find the equation of an ellipse that has its center at the origin, which they all will be, and has the specified conditions. The foci is at plus minus 4, 0, with vertices at plus minus 5, 0. So since the foci is in the form of plus minus a number front and vertices plus minus a number in the front, this is going to be similar to the horizontal ellipse. So x squared over a squared y squared over b squared equals 1. So x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared equals 1. And so we know the foci are the plus minus c. So we can tell that c is 4. Vertices is along the major axis, so it's your a value, so a equals 5. Now all we need to really find is b, and it's very simple. We just use the equation for c squared up front, which was c squared equals a squared minus b squared. So we're going to get 16 equals 25 minus b squared. So going to combine like terms, move them across, so I'm going to end up with 9 equals b squared, and then just square root both sides, and I'm going to get plus or minus 3 equals b. But we really only need positive for b. So now we have our a and b, and now we can plug it into our equation. So we're going to get for our answer x squared over 25, is a squared, plus y squared over 3 squared, which is 9, equals 1. So this is the equation of the ellipse with the foci and vertices given. Next, we have an ellipse with a length of major axis 4, length of minor axis 2, and the foci are on the y-axis. So if they are on the y-axis, that means it has to be a vertical ellipse. So it has to be this one here. So x squared over b squared plus y squared over a squared equals 1. That's the one we're going to be using. Now, length of the major axis is always your a value doubled, and the length of minor axis is always your b value doubled. So we know that we have 2a equals 4 and 2b equals not 1 but 2. So first one is the the length of a major axis, 2a equals 4, so a is going to equal 2, divide by 2, and the length of the minor axis is equal to 2, so divide by 2, b equals 1. Now that we have a and b, we can just plug it into our equation. So x squared over b squared, which is just 1, so we can just leave it as x squared, plus y squared over a squared, so it's going to be 4, equals 1. So this is the equation for this ellipse. Finally, we're given one just a little bit more difficult. eccentricity of 1/9 with foci at 0, plus minus 2. So again, we can see that the foci are on the y-axis, so the form is going to be x squared over b squared plus y squared over a squared equals 1. So we know the form, but we got to figure out a and b, and all we are given is the foci. So we know that c equals 2. But we know the eccentricity, E, is equal to C over A. Now, how can we figure it out? Well, we know that the eccentricity given to us is 1/9. So C over A is equal to 1 over 9. And we know that C is equal to 2. So we can say that 2 over A is equal to 1 over 9 and solve. So I can multiply the 9 over and multiply the A over, and I'm going to get 18 equals A. So I now know A, I know C, and so I can use the C squared equation to find B. So come over here, C squared equals A squared minus B squared. Going to give me 4 equals 18 squared, which is going to give me 324 minus B squared. Move everything to one side. I'm going to end up getting 320 equals b squared. Square root both sides and simplify. I'm going to end up having 8 root 5 equals b, because I don't really need the negative, just the positive. So now I have a and b. Now I can actually plug it into my equation and get my actual, equation. So x squared over b squared, which is just going to be 8 root 5 squared, which will just bring it back to 320, plus y squared over a squared, which is just 18 squared, so that's just 324, equals 1. And this is the equation of this ellipse given the information.